Welcome to the Traditional Way podcast. I'm Brett Shumway. We are brought to you by the Martial Arts Center Network, and we are available on all social media platforms. Additionally, we do provide new content every week, including podcasts and martial arts videos. So please make sure that you like, comment, and share all of our content, and check us out on our website at www.mainternetwork.com. On today's episode, we're going to discuss the World Karate Federation rankings. Now, for those that are unaware, there are three rankings that people really follow within the WKF. The first, obviously, is the current rankings. Now, these are points acquired over the past 2 years of competition, with the points deteriorating by half after 1 year and being completely gone after 2. The only exception to that point deterioration is the 15-month maternity freeze that is allowed by the rules and allows for women who are obviously on maternity to take a break and come back. Now, those current rankings are what determine seeds for events, most noticeably the Premier League. But rankings do come into play for priority and registration for other events as well. The second standings are the Premier League rankings, and they apply only to the points occurred during the Premier League season. The athlete with the most points at the end of the Premier League season is crowned as the grand winner for that year. None of those points carry forward to the next season. The last one is the all-time standings, which every point an athlete has ever occurred within that division throughout their career. Now, I'll be honest, these can be skewed a little bit towards the more current athletes due to the amount of events that they attend now with the new schedules. So additionally, if an athlete has, let's say they dominate for a short period or a few years on WKF, they ain't ranked as high as people may think. And we will touch on one of those athletes later on in the show. But for now that I cover the types of rankings, let's take a look at the current ones and where people currently stand. As we start in the minus 50 kilogram division, the number 2 and 3 positions in the standings are tied for second place between Celia Oiken and Sarah Bauminyar, who both have won a gold medal this year within the Premier League, but failed to secure medals at the other events they attended, leaving the top spot for Modir Jangerbey, and she is going to take the grand winner spot for a second year in a row, as it's mathematically impossible for anyone to catch her at this point in the season with only one event left. The minus 55 kilogram division will be exciting to end the season, as the top 3 positions all have a chance to win. The number 3 position is held by Alam Youssef, whose gold medal from Paris to start the year is keeping her in the running. Rina Koto holds the number 2 spot with her gold from China, matched with her 2 top 8 finishes, keeps her just outside that top spot, which is held by Yvette Goranova, who has secured a gold and a bronze this season. Leaving this as the one to watch in Rabat to determine the grand winner. It should be exciting as this division is poised for a new grand winner. The minus 61 kilogram division will have a new grand winner this year, as one of these three will win their first one. Third position is held by Alexandra Sholahova, who won the last event, sits just behind Paris gold medal winner Sarah Shimada. The top spot is held by Asel Kane, who has been the most consistent in the group, medaling in all 3 events. All she needs in Rabat is a final 8 finish, and she will secure the top honors. The minus 68 kilogram division is up for grabs, but the number 3 position, Talia Sombre, historically has only won at home in Paris. So she will have to step it up and make if she's going to make a run at the grand winner this year. The number 2 position is held by Tsubasa Kama, whose gold and silver this year keep her close enough to have a shot at the title. But the top spot is last year's winner, Elena Quercy, who has medaled in every event this year, taking one of each color, and will repeat as long as she sees the final 4 in Rabat, which she has at every event this year, so I don't think the final event is going to be any different. The over 68 kilogram division will be the closest division to end the season, with the winner of Rabat most likely taking home the honors, as 4 athletes are in contention. The 3rd position is tied between Clea Ferracuti and Joanna Kinnear, who have both made the final 8 at all 3 events this year and both have secured a medal. Just ahead of them is Sofia Burutselva, who, like them, has seen every final 8, but she has secured 2 medals this season. And last year's grand winner, Maria Garcia, sits atop the standings and is the only one out of the 4 to have secured a gold medal this year. As we move on to the men, Christos Zinos has an outside chance in the minus 60 kilogram division, as his 2 silvers this year keep him close enough in points, but he will have to have one of the top 2 have a bad event to overcome them. As last year's winner, Hiromu Hashimoto, sits in second position and Ire Samdam is just ahead of him in the top spot. The top 2, for the top 2, it'll come down to who finishes better in Rabat to take home the title. The minus 67 kilogram division has the youngster Georgios Baliotis in the third position with his pair of bronzes this season. Second spot is held by Paris's gold medal winner Yugo Kosaki. And the top spot is held by last year's grand winner Saeed Obaya, who has a pretty good lead. And as long as he doesn't have an early have a first round exit, he should repeat as the grand winner this year. Yusei Sakiyama holds the third position in the minus 75 kilogram division. But that's all for naught, as he is mathematically out of running for the title. The second spot is held by Abdallah Abdgalwad, who shocked everyone by taking out Abdelaziz in Cairo. But unless something crazy happens in Rabat, that is where he will stay, as number 1 Abdallah Abdelaziz should repeat as the grand winner. In the minus 84 kilogram division will be exciting, as it will come down to the 2 top spots for the grand winner. And to be honest, still has to go. There's a lot that still has to go right for Mohammed Al Jafari to climb out of that second position to take the top honors. Basically, he would need someone else to take out top seed Yusuf Badawi to overtake him, which hasn't happened yet this year. These two are the number 1 and number 2 in the division, and they have met at every final this year, with Badawi winning all 3 matches. And I think that continues in Rabat. I think Badawi will be the grand winner for that division. In the over 84 kilogram division, it has already been decided. The number 2 and number 3 positions held by Matteo Avanzini and Anis Bostanzik will have to watch Taha Mahmoud claim the honors in that division once again, as he is out of reach with the total points that he has acquired this year. Now in the female kata division, and this could get super interesting in Rabat. As expected, the division should come down to, once again, last year's grand winner Maho Ono and the world number 1 Grace Lau. Now, if Ono wins, it creates a tie in the standings, which, to be fair, she did win Paris this year, but she has lost the last 2 to Lau. So easiest way is for Grace to win it for a third time and become the grand winner is hers. If Ono wins, I'm not sure what's going to happen here, guys, because as I can't find anywhere in the rankings where they break a tie for the grand winner. The male kata division, as everyone's going to expect, is already decided. Although Ariel Torres is not technically eliminated from the grand winner based on points, all Kakuro Nishiyama has to do is enter division. He'll have enough points to be crowned the grand winner once again. And since there is a requirement to attend the final event of the season to be eligible for the grand winner, I highly suspect that Kakuro will repeat as a grand winner for his 4th year in a row. We're going to do something new this year on the rankings. I'm going to give you my top 5 in each division. These are all current athletes, and some will go in line with their ranking, and some will be different based on their actual performances, based on who they beat, and honestly, who I think is set to make a run. I guess we should not call this top 5 rankings, more of an editorial, but this is who I think the top 5 are. Starting in the minus 50 kilogram division, number 5, Celia Oiken. She's still young, but she's got a lot of growth potential. Number 4, Sarah Bomanyar. Still trying to find her spot in the Premier League, but she has had some success. Number 3, Emma Scardelli. Now, she's had more success in the U21, but she has medaled in the Premier League as a veteran. Number 2, Modir Jangerbey. Currently the world number 1, who is consistently medals, but doesn't always top the podium. My number 1, Yorgala Salazar, who, to be fair, has not been as dominant since her injury last year, but if she shows up, she's still the one to beat in this division. In the minus 55 kilogram division, number 5, Trinity Allen. Now, to be fair, she's had a rough mid-2023 to 24, but she has come on strong late, and she's beat some top-ranked athletes. Number 4, Tubi Yankin, reigning world champion in the division. She had a tough 2024, but she's medaled in 3 out of her last 4 events. Number 3, Yvette Goranova, who has been super consistent over the last year and a half. Number 2, Anzela Terluga, Hands down, best this division has ever seen within the WKF. Currently on maternity leave, but you really can't count her out in the division once she returns. And my number one, Rina Koto. Her first year on the Premier League, and she's made every Final 8 and took home a gold. Still early in her career, but I would say right now she is the best in that minus 55 kilogram division. My number 5 in the minus 61 kilogram division is Oleksandra Sholahova. Her last gold medal opened a lot of eyes in the division that no one is really currently dominating. Number 4, Astusa Golshanazad, who is on a losing event, then medal in an event streak where she needs to get more consistent. Number 3, Sahara Shamada was on a tear, then fell off in the last 2 events, but I still think she can recover and get back on track. Number 2, Reem Kamas is the most consistent medal winner in the division. And number 1, Asel Kanai, whose 2025 has put everyone on notice in this division. The minus 68 kilogram division starts out number 5, Hannah Rydell. Has had more success in the U21 category, but is starting to make waves in the veteran division as well. Number 4, Tsubasa Kama. Still needs more consistency, but she's still young, and she's making the Final 8 in a lot more recent events. Number 3, Talia Sombre needs to win outside of Paris, but has the potential to be great within this division. Number 2, Irina Zareska, fresh off her maternity leave. She didn't have the best first time back, but we're all waiting to see if she'll return to the dominant fighter that she was before she left. Number 1, Elena Quercy. With Irina's absence, she has cemented herself as the top of this division and the one to beat. The over 68 kilogram division is a tough one because no one has really decided to take over and dominate as the dominant athlete in this division. Number 5, Mena Okila still needs more consistency as she still gets eliminated earlier than she should at some events. Number 4, Cleo Farrakouti, same thing. She has beat some top athletes at one event and then gets eliminated early at the next. A ton of potential, but we're not seeing the results right now. Number 3, Maria Garcia, definitely one of the most consistent. However, she gets the luck of the draw a lot of times and hasn't really been truly challenged in a while. My number 2 in this division, Joanna Kinnear. Now, she's had glimmers of greatness, but then she simmers out. And the number 1, Sofia Burtselva, she's the most consistent in medaling in the division and is the one everyone has to go through to win this division. For the men, the minus 60 kilogram division is packed with talent and always a tough one to know who's going to win. Number 5, Zayed Ali has had an eye-opening 2025 so far and is now on everyone's radar as one to watch. Number 4, Ali Meschini, collecting a lot of medals, just missing the golds, but is poised to make a move. Number 3 is Christos Zinos. Now, he's been a mainstay in this division, and he's seen a lot of finals in the past 2 years. Number 2 is Ire Samdan, has taken 2 out of 3 golds this year, and is proven to be the best in the division. However, number 1, Hiromu Hashimoto, has really taken over this division in the past year, medaling in 5 out of the last 6, including 3 golds. The minus 67 kilogram division starts off with Georgios Baliotis at number 5. This young man has come on strong in the past year and is one to watch. Number 4, Afif Gaeth. Has potential to go far, he just hasn't lived up to it yet, but I think he's about to make a run real soon. Number 3 is Yugo Kosaki. He's had a disappointing last 2 events, but I think that's an anomaly as he is better than his results have shown. Number 2, Syed Obaya, has been great over the past 2 years and is the top of this division unless, number 1, Abdel Almasafa shows up. Now, he doesn't show up often, doesn't do a ton of events, but when he does, he wins. And if he's there, when he's there, he is the one to beat, and until someone beats him consistently, he's the guy in the division. The minus 75 kilogram division is set at the top, but the other spots are starting to bottleneck below that top spot. Number 5, Omer Ur is a young guy that is right there and ready to make a run in the division. Number 4, Nurkanat Ajikanov is starting to figure it out as well and starting to see a lot more top 8 positions. Number 3, Enzo Berthian has secured a lot of medal matches in the past couple of years, and his consistency is there. Now, can one win jump you up the list? Absolutely. And that's what number 2, Abdallah Abdelgawad, that's how he gets in this spot. He's the only one to beat the world number 1 since January of 2023. The number 1, Abdallah Abdelaziz, whose dominance has been covered in depth on this show, and there's nothing else to say. 21 medals in his past 23 events with 14 golds. The minus 84 kilogram division sees Omar Osman in the 5th spot, as he's seen 2 quarterfinals in his first 2 events as a veteran. Edard Gasparian has opened a lot of eyes in 2025, coming off 2 golds in the Series A. He broke into the Premier League with a bronze in his second event. Number 3, Rikido Shimada is another fighter on the brink of starting to see better results in the division. He has shown it on occasion, but he hasn't had his big moment yet. Number 2, Muhammad Al-Jafari, who a year ago I would have put him at number 1, but he's dropped off a bit, and he's fell to the number 1, Yusuf Badaway, every time this year. Badaway has medaled in 20 out of his 22 events in his WKF career. Mainstay in the division. Is going to be there for a long time. The over 84 kilogram division sees veteran Angelo Kovacic in the number 5 spot. Still consistent, just not placing as high as he used to. Anis Bostancic still needs to grow in the veterans division, but he has a ton of potential. Number 3, Salih Abazari will see more podiums as he is transitioning into the Premier League on a more consistent basis. Number 2, Matteo Avanzani dominated the U21 division, and now that he's only concentrating in the veterans division, he's going to see a lot more Final Fours and in the future, and I think he is the future in this division. The number 1, Taha Mahmoud, hasn't missed a podium since 2021, and it doesn't look like anyone is going to knock him out anytime within the next year or so. Female kata has a ton of talent, but I have Azuma Saiko in the number 5 spot. She's not missed a quarterfinals in 2 years. Now, number 4, Paola Lozano. Albeit not a ton of success as a veteran, she has recently medaled and is poised to start making her move in the division as she is still quite young. Number 3, Kiri Mishima, who has started to slow down after her explosive start within the WKF, but she is consistently in contention for a medal. Number 2 and number 1 are tough because they are so evenly matched in a lot of ways. But based on recent events, number 2 is Maho Ono due to number 1 Grace Lau's wins over her this past year. Male kata starts off, for me, Kotaro Ohata in the 5th spot as he comes out of the Series A this year and took a bronze in his second Premier League. Number 4, Ryuji Moto, the spoiler of the bracket himself. This guy has always had the ability to beat top-ranked guys and upset a division in the Premier League. Number 3, his big brother Kaz Moto, who has put together 4 events with medals in a row. Number 2, Ariel Torres is starting to see Premier League finals on a more consistent basis. And the number 1, of course, Kakura Nishiyama, who has won he's won gold in 10 out of his last 11 events. I'm going to introduce another quick segment to the show where we're going to discuss the top 5 WKF kata athletes of all time. To do this, I'm going to bring on a guest to discuss this topic. You all should know him as the co-host of Inside Scoop and our resident encyclopedia on the Martial Arts Internetwork, Mr. Jeff Doss. Jeff, welcome to the show.
What's up, Brett? How are you, man?
I'm good. So today I brought you on. This is kind of a segment that you guys do on your show. But we're going to bring on today top 5 WKF kata competitors of all time. Now, before we get started, one of my listeners, Joey Conham, brought this up in a chat, and he said, how do you rank the top 5 of all time when some of them never competed against each other? So when you made your list, what is something that you took into account when you made your list?
So I took into account when I watched them, how I felt, right? And things that stood out, like memorable performances. I also looked into records, right? Like who won the most titles, WKF World Championships mostly. Some other, things like, of course, we're looking at Olympics and things because of some of the recent ones, right? So I looked at comparing those, just the eye test of what I think, is and what I prefer. There are some people that I could probably put on like an honorable mention that, and some people would probably have them 1 or 2, but to me, they're not in that top 5 because they don't have the accolades that someone else does.
Right. And I did that as well, except for I added another like impact on the sport.
Correct.
And again, for like an honorable mention, yeah, he's not records wise, he's not ever, but if you want to look at like Ariel Torres and Sakura Kokomai, what they have done now, especially looking at the youth, how many guys do you talk to that do NASCA and do the WKF, and they say like, hey, what are the guys in Ariel's name is brought up all the time.
Correct.
Some of the young
Correct.
ladies, Sakura, so what they've done just for us, I guess, in America or North America is a big impact on the sport, but I just couldn't, I can't put them in the top 5 of all time
No,
because there's
no, no. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I mean, there's some, and again, some of the people that I have on my like honorable mention, you may have in your top five. So I don't, it just all depends, right?
all right, so I didn't do any honorable mentions. I mean, I have a
Yeah,
couple, and then
yeah,
and I would say honorable mention, I'll give one. I think, Ryu Kiona would be an honorable mention for me, and a lot of people will be shocked that I don't have him in my top 5,
yeah, yeah,
but I will get to that. So
yeah.
let me hear your honorable mentions.
Well, for me, mine's the other one related to Rio is Sakamoto because of, again, we're talking. It is hard when you're looking at the different eras, right? So, I mean, honestly, you could put him in number one, number two, number three, but I'm gonna have him right there because of just again, I haven't seen it enough, but the records are there. Like Rio broke his record. One of what was a tie, but so
Yeah,
him, and then another one that probably a lot of people because of his longevity would put in, and he was a number one player and a world champion was Antonio Diaz.
yeah.
So, so those are ones that that for me need to be mentioned, but they're not in my top five.
Right, and, yeah, that's similar, well, except for one, it's similar, but let me take a look. So here's what the fans brought up. So
Yeah,
the I put out a poll, and this is not they didn't give me really an order, but the way they voted, it's kinda how I looked at on preferences and how they voted and who had more votes. So at
right.
number 5, they have Antonio Diaz,
Yeah.
out of Venezuela, great competitor, multiple world champion. Number 4, they have Luca Valdesi.
Mm,
Um, Number 3, they have Rika Usami. Number 2, they have Ryu Kiona, and number 1, they have Sandra Sanchez.
okay.
Again, top. I mean, once you
Yeah.
get in, if we're only doing 5, I think if we did 10, we could be here all
Yeah.
day for
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of justification. But I think,
Right.
for 5, that's probably the most 5 that a lot of people have. Mine are similar but different.
Yeah,
So
same,
let's
same.
let's go back and forth. And I
Yeah.
don't know did if you didn't do an order, or if you did do an
Yeah, I
order,
did.
but okay. So who's your number 5?
So, I mean, my number 5, even though, like, he's at 5, pick another day of the week and he could be my number 1 just because I love watching his stuff, and he was dominant, in the, what, I guess, early '90s. That was, Michael Milan.
Okay.
So, the you know, the Unsu you watch him do, his Kanku show was actually one of the ones that I really like watched so much growing up on how to really do it properly, right? Because we grew up in a time when people were doing Kanku show and it was a lot different, right? Lower,
Yeah.
really low stances. Wasn't really we didn't we saw some Shotokan versions, but we saw some other versions that were a lot different,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
So
in the early '90s, and we're even I mean, we did it at our school.
yeah,
They do the, inside stomp kick before they step back to the double block. That was real big in the upstate New York
right,
and Canada area. So, yeah.
right. Right. So, he's one of my favorites. So Michael Milan is number 5 for me.
Okay, so my number 5 is Kiyu Shimizu, and the reason being is I was looking up her records, and this is amazing to me. She did 40 events, and she medaled in every single event she's ever entered.
Wow, okay.
So she's a
That's
two-time world
amazing.
champion, 24 Premier League medals. She's got 15 golds in the Premier League, three-time Asian champion, and the reason why I believe she doesn't have more world titles is you can only bring one per country. And
Correct.
once Hikaru Ono started breaking into the scene,
Mhm.
Kiyu kind of got pushed aside out of Japan. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, crazy record. She competed against at the time. She competed against Sandra. She competed against Hikaru. So I have her in my number 5 position.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's a great one. See, like, names like that are ones that people need to go and research and really watch, right?
Yep.
So, awesome. All right, 4 for me. I mean, I put Rio Kiona as number 4 for me. Again, he's got the records. He's got I mean, you just watch it, just how amazing, strength and strong he is. No, I hate to be that one of like, I will, of like he kind of has an advantage when it comes to because of the system, and and his instructor is the one that creates those forms, and that is the highest in that, right? So he's practicing and knowing those forms before there anyone else in WKF gets to. But no matter what, like no one can do them like him, right? So
Right.
I think what he's done, and he showed the world at the Olympics, that it wasn't just a one time
Right.
thing.
And it's one of those things that no one wants to talk about, that like no one ever heard of Ohan or Ohan Dai or Anand Dai. I mean, they were created for Ryu.
Right,
So, and then they got added on the list. So
right,
he should do them the best. They were
yeah,
built for him.
right, right, yeah,
All right. So my number 4, I have Luca Valdesi. So 12-time European champion, 3-time world champion, 16 golds in 21 events. That's great. But for me, Luca was a big, strong guy and did Shotokan so effortlessly.
mm,
It looked like, honestly, he's on the biggest stage. It looked like he was doing kata in the dojo. He
right,
was just so relaxed, and you remember his biggest form was Gankaku, and for a guy that size and to make it look so smooth, I mean, to me that was always a
yeah,
big deal for me, is to watch him, and that's kind of why I fell in love with Shotokan for, I don't know, the third time. I've had a love affair with Shotokan on and off again over the
yeah,
years, right? But Luca Valdesi just made it look so effortless.
yeah. I agree. All right, where are we at? Three now?
Number 3,
So three, I will go with Sandra Diaz. So I think just the power, the longevity. Sorry, I said Sandra.
Sandra
Yeah, Sandra Sanchez.
Sandra
My bad.
Sanchez.
My bad.
Okay,
I
yeah,
said the
no,
wrong
we're
last
good.
name. My bad. Yeah, Sandra Sanchez. So I think she's just amazing. Um, and again, for sometimes for me, the hard part is with this list is having male and female together, just because you are looking at different things, right? No matter what, like when you watch them, there's that grace and beauty, but then you see someone like her that can add that athletic ability with the power and the snap. I mean,
Right.
and to do it for so long, yeah. So she's up there for me at number three.
My number 3 is Rika Usami, and she's a lot of people think 3 is low on the list, and here's why. So there's a lot of people don't realize she only did 9 events ever within the WKF,
Right, right,
only 8 as an adult. Here's how everyone knows Rika. Rika was the top of her game when the YouTube big push on YouTube came. I, matter of fact, I don't think you can find a kata. I'm sorry, you can't find a kata that she did in the WKF that's not on YouTube.
right,
Like,
right,
if you search WKF kata, she still comes up. Heck, you talk to people to this day, and her name still gets brought up that the current players couldn't beat her.
right,
Um, However, with that, this is
mhm,
an amazing stat. She's only ever lost 1 match ever in her WKF career. Her
right,
first world championships, she took a bronze. That's it. So
yeah,
out of 9 events, 1 match loss.
right,
That's absolutely crazy.
right.
Also, I think she kind of put the blueprint in for what they're the competitors are doing now, especially in Japan.
Yes, yes,
So she won her world title, said, I'm done competing. And now she has built a seminar business where people from all over the world fly in to train with Rika. I mean, it was a big deal at the beginning of this year that, Luca goes and trains with her. Ariel goes and trains. Like,
yeah,
matter of fact, I just saw posts earlier that Sakura is over there in the past 2 weeks training with her. So, not to mention Sandra, when she was on her great run, was also
right.
training with Rika. So I think Rika, for a lot of ways, impact on the sport. But yeah, I mean, 1 loss ever.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy,
crazy
right?
to me.
Yeah, so that's for me, that's why I have her at my number 2. So, yeah, and again, I'd say because it is kind of funny, right? You're looking at, she didn't compete that much when you really look at it, right? But it's the impact on the sport that I think is what makes her, in that top 5, close to number 1. Anyone that talks about a female martial artist, kata competitor, they list her first. I mean, almost all
Yeah.
the time, right? So it's the same thing, like what you said. It's just the presence, the also like understand how to do the performance level, like her eyes, the sharpness. Some people in the W weren't doing that, and so
Right.
I think it really went to that next level for her. So
And
she's my
especially
number 2.
especially out of the Japanese competitors, they didn't
Correct.
have the just the raw, like, you can't take your eyes off of her when you watch her compete. Like, she's
Right.
just that good.
Yeah.
All right, so we switched that around. My number 2 is Sandra Sanchez.
Okay.
Um, the records are there.
Yep.
Here's something that just blew my mind. She medaled in her last 52 straight events.
That's insane.
And
That's
also, what's even crazier, she didn't start until mid to late 30s. She didn't
right.
start early. So
Right.
she started late, and what she longevity, of course, but what she's giving back to the sport now. Like,
Yeah.
she's everywhere. Her and her husband are everywhere training. They're doing
Yep.
things. And also, when you watch video, I think she could still compete
Oh, yeah.
right now. She
Yeah.
looks like she is still exactly in the same shape that she was when she left. She last what 2022, I think, was her last
Yes.
event when I looked it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. So, yeah, she's amazing. Those 2 young ladies, young women are awesome. So, my number 1 goes back to, I don't know what he was for or something like that, but Luca Valdezi for me is number 1. He's my favorite. He's the one that I think for a long time, especially people were like, how do we put these, you have a great kicker. How do you show that in Shotokan? And I just look at Luca Valdesi, right? How to stick the kicks without sticking them too long to make them look different, and I think he showed everyone, hey, let's do this. Let's take it to that next level. Like you said, for a big guy to make it look so smooth, effortlessly. Um, his eyes, for me, it's that's one of my biggest things when watching any form is the eyes and just that connection he had. It was sharp. It was intense. And truth is, he made every form look good. Like if you
Yeah.
look, because again, back then when he was doing it, you had to do, the lower level katas, and there's a lot of video of him doing those, and it was amazing. Like I'd watch him do some of those basic forms before I'd watch him do Genkaku, even though that's like his favorite. I mean, his best. But
Right.
I just feel like overall the impact on the sport, when most people, again, a lot of, if you look at the list of everyone else, right? Most of those people are 2010s and up, right?
Yeah.
He's the only one people mention from that late 90s to early 2000s
Right.
because they knew of his impact. And then when Antonio Diaz finally like won, right? It was huge because it's like, wait, someone finally beat Luca? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on, right? And so when that happens, you've done something. When it means more to beat you than when for you to win, like it means more for you to lose is bigger news than you winning. Like that means you've done something, right?
Right. And
So
his longevity too. I think I've looked at, let me see. Yeah, 12-time European champion. So that's a minimum
that's
of 12 years
yeah, that's
that
insane.
he was just the guy. All right. So you shocked me because you mentioned my number 1 earlier.
I figured when I s-
And I was a little taken aback. So my number 1 is Sugio Sakamoto,
right,
Sakamoto Sensei in
yeah,
Japan. Everyone knows him. Actually, he's from Ona, Okinawa. So stats real quick. He was a 3-time WKF world champion. He
mm,
also won, and this is all in the 80s. This started from like 84 to 89, I believe. And 2 world games champion, 2 world cups. But also, he's produced 9 world champions in his as
mm,
an instructor. But for me, the impact on the sport, nobody outside of Okinawa knew what Rueru was until this man brought it out. So, somewhere in my house, I have a book that when I was stationed in Okinawa in the early 2000s, I bought it. It's his book. And this is why I always laugh because the number 1 kata, top kata at that time was a non. There was no Anan Dai, Ohan Dai,
right,
anything like that.
right,
But if you read any of his biography, his instructor, it was a family style. His instructor did not like sport karate
right,
and didn't really want him out, which is funny. They call the WKF sport karate. We
yes,
all call it traditional karate. So,
right,
he didn't want his style watered down by competing. But Sakamoto Sensei went and did it. And if it was not for him, I mean, Jeff, how many tournaments you go to where you see Anand die, Ohan, or Ohan die?
Yes,
That
every
wouldn't
single
be
one.
here if it wasn't for him.
Yeah,
You're
right.
right. So I think impact on the sport, just all in all, I mean, the people he's trained, I mean, he's produced 9 world champions. People,
Yeah,
I mean, I've talked to, I think it was when the Lakers went over to Okinawa, they went and trained with him and Ryu. It's,
yeah,
yeah, impact on the sport definitely drove him to the top of my list. And
correct. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I should love him or hate him for that fact of that we see all those forms, but but yeah,
that's how I feel about Paparin. But,
yeah, exactly.
on the, but if you really want to see, his videos are up on YouTube. If you
Yeah,
really want to see his, like, what Rueru looked like before WKF got a hold of it, check
right.
out his forms.
Yeah,
It's completely
that's
different,
awesome.
very Okinawan.
Awesome. Awesome.
So,
That was fun.
yeah, I mean, honest, I knew that we would all come up with pretty close to the same lists,
Yeah,
but it's interesting where we put people. And I
yeah,
think the only one from the fans that we didn't have on was Antonio Diaz.
mhm,
Um, and I had Kiyu Shimizu,
yeah,
which was kind
yeah,
of,
different. Yeah.
I honestly thought I already thought Sakamoto was gonna be my shocker, but I didn't realize it was gonna be Kiyu.
Yeah, 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 she was definitely, yeah. And then I think for me, the only difference was Michael, having him on. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and
Now
so
you and Andrew listed him.
okay,
Andrew Cabalon, I gotta give his props.
okay,
He did list him.
yeah,
Best Unsue he's ever seen in his mind.
yeah.
Said
I
could still win today.
I agree too. So,
All right. Hey, thanks, Jeff, for having for yeah, this is the first time me having you on the show. Usually it's the
yes,
other way
that's
around. I've been on
that's right,
Inside Scoop twice. So
that's right.
thanks for having me, Jeff. And for everybody else, I'm sure you already, if you're watching my show, you're already watching the Inside Scoop on Monday, live on Twitch, YouTube, back on Facebook this
Yes,
week.
we are back on Facebook.
All right. All right. Thanks,
Instagram
Jeff. Have
as
a good
well.
one. And with that, I want to thank you guys for joining me for another episode of The Traditional Way. Join me on the next episode where I'll bring you the results from the European Championships. Until then, continue to support the Martial Arts Center Network by liking, sharing, and engaging with all the content available. Until next time, guys.